low carb, chocolate chip, zucchini bread. Here's what you need. Overgrown large zucchini. I got this one from my garden and another. Semi-sweet baking chips, almond flour, erythritol, coconut flour, pure vanilla extract, maple extract, liquid stevia, baking powder, 3 large eggs or 4 medium eggs, a full stick of butter, which is equivalent to a half cup. I use Lily's baking chips. I have dark chocolate as well. Line your 9x5 pans, baking pans, with parchment paper, or you can use butter, oil to make it easier to come out. Start shredding your zucchini, skin and all. I use a cheesecloth. You could use a washcloth, heavy-duty paper towel to remove the moisture and the water out from the zucchini. This is what makes your bread very moist, is zucchini. So keep putting it in there until you completely fill the cheesecloth in order to remove all that. And you'll see next, I squeeze very tightly to get all of that water out of the zucchini. Look at that. That is probably maybe about 3/4 cup of water just from one large, extra large zucchini. That is a lot of water. Here's the outcome of that zucchini that was removed. Just shows you how a full zucchini looks like that. Melt your butter. Then add 1/3 cup of erythritol. I use Lakanto's monk fruit. I like it. It doesn't have an aftertaste. And then you're going to whip that with a beater until it's fluffy. Keep beating, beating, beating. Here's the eggs you're going to add. Crack in all of the eggs. These eggs are for my chickens. Thank you, chickens. As you mix those in, now you're going to start adding all of the other liquid ingredients. It's going to be a full teaspoon of the liquid stevia. Teaspoon of vanilla extract, teaspoon of maple extract. And then once you've added all of those in, you're going to go ahead and beat again. going to start adding into the dry ingredients at this time. You're going to have 1.5 cups of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Hindsight, I probably should have sifted those together, but it still came out okay. You're going to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That is all of your dry ingredients. The baking powder is what's going to help your bread rise. So now I just add them all in, and I will be beating those in as well. Once all of these dry ingredients are incorporated, your batter is going to be very similar to a cake batter. So that's the consistency you want at. So think about that when you're trying to achieve the end result. It's got to be moist like a cake batter. Keep blending and blending. I love zucchini bread. I like zucchini bread just before I went low carb. And then to find a low carb one was really a awesome opportunity for me to use all the zucchinis that I have in my garden, because zucchini is also good on a low carb diet. But when they get overgrown, they're not so good to eat. So I kept thinking, well, I wish I could make a zucchini bread, but bread is one of the no-nos on low carb. And I was very fortunate to find this recipe, and I am so happy to have it. It's guilt-free. It's only 4 carbs per slice. And the slice is heavenly. And you get 12 slices out of the bread. Here you can see me unwrapping the cheesecloth to get enough of the zucchini that I needed. So that large zucchini gave me exactly a little bit over 1.5 cups, not enough to make 2. As you've seen earlier in the video, I was preparing 2 bread pans. Didn't give me fully enough for 2. So you will use 1.5 cups of shredded zucchini for this particular 1 bread loaf recipe. So here I'm measuring those equal what I need, and then I'll be folding that into the batter. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe as much as I did. I really just kind of winged it and used the recipe. You can add nuts in here too. The recipe also gave opportunity for you to use walnuts or peanuts. Well, no, I'm sorry, not peanuts, pecans. But, my family doesn't want the walnuts. I love them, but they don't. So in order for us to enjoy this bread, we stuck with just the baking chips. So here I'm using a mix, 1/2 cup, but I mixed it with the dark baking chips as well as the semi-sweet. And it gave a little bit of a color variation, but also a little bit of different taste. One was sweeter than the other. But man, this was a really, really good zucchini bread recipe. And it's nice to know you're still in your low carb. I didn't feel guilty having a slice a day and enjoying the fruits of my labor from my garden, but also staying to my low carb diet. Here I'm just gently folding them in. And then you're going to see me put this into the baking dish. I usually tap it down and add it to a baking sheet. And then you put it in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes. And you'll use a toothpick to poke it to see if it comes clean. Once it's clean, that means it's ready and it's done. And then you can just set it out and let it cool for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then you can enjoy it. This was a very easy recipe, not hard at all, not a lot of things that you need. Here's the end result. It looks great. Using the parchment paper made it super easy to come out. This is great if you're missing that bread recipes, the banana bread, the zucchini bread, all the breads that we didn't have, we can't have with a low carb. I didn't add a little butter to this, but a little butter probably would have been fabulous. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Low carb chocolate chip zucchini bread. Enjoy.